his YouTube channel because I'm going to talk about my going to school.
All right, everyone. We're here with our next stranger. Could you tell us your name? You don't have to tell us your full name, just whatever you want to be called, and a little about yourself.
My name is Mattox, but so I started wrestling when I was 4 years old, and this is really where like the whole wrestling like really started. Was, I was 4 years old, and I've been wrestling since then. And around it was state, yeah, it was state. My first year ever wrestling, my dad just said, you know what, just go. If we know we're gonna get beat out, that's what he was telling me. We know
Maddox,
we're gonna beat
Maddox,
out.
before we continue, could you turn down whatever background music there is? Because I'm having a little trouble listening, hearing you.
Is
Awesome.
that good?
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you're saying, yeah, about your
So
dad.
my dad just threw me in and was like, "Yo, you're gonna get beat. It's gonna happen." And when they were saying we're just gonna win, we're just gonna lose two and go home. And so around wrestling, like when the wrestling tournament started, I threw up the match before my no match, in my first match. I threw up right before I went on the mat,
How
and
old were you?
I was 4 years old,
Oh my god.
and I was wrestling this kid from Team Minion, which is like a team in Georgia where they like go around the country and stuff. I thought I unpaused. I thought I paused this.
Yeah, just kind of like came on randomly.
And I was wrestling the kid from Team Minion, and I pinned him in the first period, which means I like absolutely, I just like Shrek that man. And so after I beat that dude, he was four, and I was wrestling 65 pounds. I was a big boy at 4 years old.
My god, how tall are you now?
I am 5'9".
5'9", like what, like 190 or 195 or something? No,
No,
no.
I'm actually
One.
I'm 124 right now.
I guess I have an idea like in my head that wrestlers like have to be bigger, but that's not true.
Yeah, like everybody thinks that we're like just these big bulky dudes. Like, not really. We have these lanky dudes. Like, I remember in middle school, my first match I ever lost in middle school was against this dude, and I gave him the nickname the Tree because Buddy was 6'3" and he was in sixth grade,
Oh my
and I was like,
god.
that that's not healthy.
That's not fair. Yeah.
And I'm sitting over here in sixth grade, like 5'2".
So tell me I like so like what has your journey been with wrestling? Like were there moments in your like childhood like in elementary school or middle school that were like really memorable or that were really tough or moments that really you feel like defined you?
Yeah, like so my dad, that was my coach, died my third grade year, and this is when I lived in Texas, and so that really just like set off me, and I just like I stopped for like a month, and I was like, you know what, screw that. I kind of need the wrestling because all the build up and like fear and anger, all that crap just came out on the mat, and so after my dad died, he like I could hear his voice when I was wrestling, like in a match, because I would like close out and just have tunnel vision in on the match and my dad, and I would hear him after he died, and that right there, that was that was a tougher because of how much like all the way through when I was 4 years old to like what's third grade, like 9, 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10. Yeah.
After that, this is the good one. My fifth grade year, I wrestled in my dad's high school wrestling. Similar, like it was not his because he was bigger, but it was pretty cool. And it said "walk by faith" on the back, like walk and then by in faith, and that's what he told me before every match. Just walk by faith, and promise you just go. And so with all that sad crap and stuff, uh, I'm a junior in high school right now. My ninth grade year, I didn't even redshirt, or no, I redshirted. I didn't
Could you
get like
explain what that is a little more? Redshirting.
a redshirt is like varsity. So I was I was wrestling varsity ninth grade year, and then 10th grade year I got all like depressed and stuff from like being overworked at wrestling,
Mm.
and then the crap going on with my mom. Well, she's not even my real mom, but like my mom, uh, all that crap. She was trying to come back into my life after my dad died, and she left me. So I'm adopted now, and that mom was trying to get back into my life, and I just didn't want to let her because like you left me and you put me in like the darkest like crap, losing dad, then mom, and she was trying to get back in my life, and that right there, that killed me. And then going back to like varsity, I wrestled varsity a little bit in my sophomore year because our the dude that on my team that I could not beat at all, his name was Josh Kincaid, and
What a
he's a three
name.
time, yeah, and he has won Georgia State 3 times in a row, and he's a senior this year, which is that's like crazy. And I'm going to Ohio State. There ain't no telling where he's going to go. So now that I'm my this year, I've been wrestling with. Completely forgot.
That's
In
okay,
fourth
man. Yeah. Thank you
fourth
for
grade,
being. Oh yeah. Sorry.
in fourth grade, I wrestled for a team called Team USA, and I went and represented Georgia, and for one, no, it wasn't 120. That's my sophomore year. Like I was weighing 95 pounds. No, yeah, 95 pounds. And I went and wrestled Team USA at in fourth grade. I had to wrestle a kid from California, Connecticut, and West Virginia. And then I won to wrestle the Virginia kid. They got hurt. My kneecap came all the way around my
Oh.
yeah. And so now that we're going back to junior year, now that I'm getting looked at by Ohio State, Iowa State, North Carolina, and App State. That's all the schools that are looking at me. So what's going through my mind? I'm just D1. So like you just like for D1, you're gonna be wrestling kids that are seniors and stuff, and you're gonna be a freshman, and they're gonna be educated with all the wrestling stuff, and I'm just coming in there just like I don't even know what to do. And I went to one of their practices, and that was amazing. They work hard. Like I lost 6 pounds that day. Yeah, I was sweating,
Wow.
and So now that I'm a junior, got all that crap, and now my senior year, I have the choice because I'm an all A student right now. Well, not because of flight, but I was last year, and so I've been doing dual enrollment. If you know what that is.
Dual enrollment. Are you like working with like a community college as well as a yeah?
Yeah, that's cool. And I had all freshman year college classes for everything.
Dude, Maddox, you are
So
killing it, man. Like,
I,
I
like,
mean,
not trying to brag, but like
well,
I'm
no,
kind of
like, no, I think, like, the way that I'm hearing it is not bragging. Like I really, it's awesome that you're so vulnerable about talking about your dad passing and the problems with your mom and how wrestling has been kind of like a light for you that has kind of
hmm
given you power to kind of move through and that through all of it, I mean, you continue to like excel with that, but not only that, but with school.
yes. To be honest with you, I don't even know how I did it because I have ADHD and I didn't get on medicine until like sixth grade year. So I was all
So what do you think it was about wrestling that kind of like more specifically or deeper, like what do you think it was that about it that helped you power through these kind of harder times in your life?
because going up to it, like going into the ring or the mat, you're it's just you and that dude that you're about to wrestle. And wrestling was one of the first sports like ever created because in the Bible it says it. And I was like, it takes. I'm not gonna. This might be a little vulgar, but it takes some balls to get out there because you get in these weird positions. I've had my kneecap over here. I've had this foot all jacked up. I broke my collarbone. It's just it's rough, and that right there just reminds me of like life's rough. So like, why not just wrestle it?
Huh. Yeah. It's like it's like the things that you've kind of been through in your life, like for you, you're kind of facing it head on. It's like you're
Yeah.
wrestling your fear. Wow. That's I mean, that must have been really something too with like your family. And I mean, was that whole situation very difficult in your life? And do you feel like you have grieved like properly for like your dad and your mom? And what was that all like?
Well, my dad passing, that was that was worse than my mom because I was a daddy's boy and I got what I wanted if I talked to him. So I was like, hey, I need some new wrestling shoes. Get on it. And I know that's kind of bad. Like, just he buys me whatever I want. But like, we were just so close, and just in general, I went everywhere with him. And then being in the gym at 4 years old for 3 hours wrestling your dad because none of your friends even know what wrestling is. It, and your body can't even reach around your dad. And when he died, that was like, oh crap. It wasn't all crap. It was like, oh shoot.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. You can. I understand what you mean. It was bad.
Yeah, and I didn't have my coach with me. I didn't have my dad with me. I didn't have my best friend with me. So putting all that into one, that's
One of the things that I've talked to a lot of people about on this channel, is bullying, actually, and a lot of kids that I sense became bullies were people who lost their parents when they were younger, or whose parents they felt um, didn't love them or neglected them or left and stuff. And for you, like, what do you think about bullying? Like, were you bullied when you were younger? Is that, or did you feel like you have been a bully, or what do you think about all of that stuff?
I don't really roll with that stuff. Like with the bullying, like if I see a kid getting bullied, I don't like something just clicks. I might be 5'9", but I will roundhouse you. I swear. And it's like it's so messed up having to take it out on someone else that you know has no chance to get you, and that's just so messed up on so many different levels. So I've never been a bully, first off, and I just I don't tolerate it. Like other people, like my friends, they'll be like talking about like special needs kids or making jokes about that. I'm just like, yo, they can't help that crap. So
Yeah, it also sounds to me too like faith is a very important part of your life. Did you, what is, uh, what place does religion have for you in your life?
it's pretty high. I go to church every Sunday. I go to church every Wednesday. I don't go to the gym on Wednesdays or Sundays. So it goes it goes God, family, school, then wrestling.
Mm. Um, for you, like, what is your relationship like with God? And also, like, there are a lot of people. So, what's your relationship like with God? And then also, for people who aren't religious, why is religion important?
I mean, religion is important to me, but to like other people, religion might not be so important to them. And I mean, I pray to God because I know, yeah, scientists made the Big Bang Theory, but like, who made the Big Bang Theory? So like, there's someone out there, and if I die, I'm gonna hope to God I go to heaven.
Mm.
And then I completely forgot the other question.
Oh, that's okay. I should. This is a problem of mine. I ask too many questions at once. So for
No,
you,
it's kind of fun because no one really ever does this. The last time I with my with the Ohio State coach.
cool. Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah.
it's. I think you have a really interesting story. It's inspiring. You know. And what's cool is that like other people can listen to your story too now. So that's. Um.
I have 56K on TikTok. So
Whoa.
yeah. So I will definitely. Are you gonna if you're gonna post this?
Mhm.
I will definitely. No, I'm gonna shout out your building bridges for sure because this is this is cool.
Oh, cool, dude.
And
I'm really happy about that. Thank you. Um.
it,
Oh yeah. What were you gonna
you go
say?
first.
No. Well. So yeah. I kind of am interested again in your thoughts of um like for people who who aren't religious, like why do you how do you think religion could help people that aren't religious? You know?
I prayed to God for God, the God give me strength and courageous. I have to be strong and courageous. And then my mom, my new mom, Jamie downstairs, she before every match I look up in the stands and I see her do this right here, and it's I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me. So, and I feel like right when I do that, I just get like something just hits me. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna kill you, man. Not literally, but I'm gonna try to, but like
Yeah,
not mean.
in a legal way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just feel like being religious, it also gives you something to think about. First off, so your mind doesn't worry or wonder about other stuff. And then second, it just like makes you feel better about yourself. First off, like that I pulled away from God a couple years ago, and like recently I've been getting like pulled back in, and I just feel like a so much better person, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's you're like there's a feeling. It's really more of like a feeling than anything that words can really describe. It's kind of what I'm getting from you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. To be honest with you,
Yeah. Well, how about your family? Your family now, what about your family now is really helpful for you in terms of support?
well, my mom and dad now are like we're just all really close, and we go everywhere together. So that just like builds your bond with them. And like when I first came to their house, me and my sister Isabel, Shay just bonded like that, and she's younger than me, but like she was like I've always called her dude buddy because she's a girl, but like she's just straight dude. I promise you, that's a dude, but it's a girl. I promise you. And we just they just like took me in and just straight just said, "Yo, you might have a different last name, and I probably didn't like you probably didn't come out of me, but like you my kid now, and now I'm here."
What love, huh? That's love, man.
Yeah,
Did
living my
you
best life.
did you know them? Like, what was that whole process of being adopted? You know, how old were you when you were adopted? What was that like?
I was like 6 or 7, I think. I don't really know. 6 or 7, I think. I don't really remember all like the process, but like I can tell you, going in the courtroom, being you and your law it's lawyer, right?
Your lawyer?
Yeah, my lawyer and the two others, Jamie and Lee. That right there, just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just getting like bought. Yeah, I'm not even like it's like property, but they just like it just changed my mind like that right when I went into the house. So it's like, and I was like new.
Well, so you were adopted after your dad died,
Hmm.
and then your mom was not in the picture, but then now she was trying to get back in after you were
Yeah.
adopted.
Yeah.
And would you mind talking about that at all? Is that something you feel comfortable talking about? That experience?
Her trying to get into my life again. Uh, I mean, she would start sending me money just from like like she like knew where I lived, but I don't even know how Stacy even knows where I live. But like it's just weird. Like I lost all connections to you. I didn't even talk to you, and she still sends me money. I mean, just saying, it's put a heck of a lot of stuff in my truck.
Hmm.
Thank
Hmm.
you, Stacy. But she's apparently a very wealthy woman, as the notes will say. I'm just like, if I go back there, because when she left, she was all hooked up on drugs and crap, and now she's wealthy, and she lives in the one of the richest parts of Georgia. Like she lives in Jasper. It even has like a rich name, Jasper, and so she sends me money, and then she'll show up at my just randomly at my matches, and
How do you feel about that?
when I see her in the stands, I'm just like, oh, just a lady, like nothing to me. It doesn't really like I don't really think about her. The only time I really think about her is when the money comes in, and she'll just give me she'll give me $400. Then she'll sometimes go $800. I'm just like, yo. It's also bought me a lot of shoes. I have shoes that lace up by themselves because of her.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a shoe collector, and I put a lot of work into my truck. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Another thing that I kind of talk to, yeah, I don't think I've talked to many people from Georgia, but like, is is this idea of like, this is kind of like switching topics into like current events and stuff. But like the idea of like, the Confederate flag still kind of like flying around. At least I'm in Florida, and that happens here sometimes still. And like, do you have any thoughts or opinions of like the Confederate flag, and should it still be flying? Do you have any thoughts of that at all? That topic? Is
I
that a
mean,
thing that even
I don't
happens
really
in
know a lot
Georgia?
about.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yes, I mean I'm a Trump supporter, and I have a Trump flag in my truck. It's like on my roof, and I mean we fly. You see that a lot, but you don't really see the Confederate flag. And the only time you see a Confederate flag is when you go to like the old people and the trailer parks and stuff.
Hmm.
It's a bunch of yee country boys that don't give a crap about anything except dip and boots and jeans.
Hmm. Hmm. It's like the young people don't really mess with that stuff anymore, right?
I
Or do
mean,
they? Yeah.
yeah, we have a group at our school that are very, 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 very Confederate flyers. Like
Like, why do you think they do it?
to make people mad.
Really?
Yeah. And some of them are like it's like heritage or something. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah, inherited.
Yeah.
Like their parents did it, so they're doing it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm. Well, what are some? Are there any like kind of topics with Trump and stuff? Like, why do you think Trump is a good leader? And do you think you'd support him if you could vote for him in November?
Yes. Because they say that he's a rapist and stuff like that. But like I don't really know about all that story, but they say that he's a rapist. But like, that's his daughter he's talking about. There's no way he would have said that to his daughter. And then they say that he's a racist. But how is he a racist? Because there are black people that have realized and now that are going to be now that are going to vote for Trump. And he's done so much for the black community. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Me and my friend Blake, we like to read about it and like watch the news about it. And they, he said that he saw that it said Trump made food stamps or something like that. But
That he
I
made
thought
food stamps?
like he made them like more accessible.
I see.
I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, what I always like to try to do is, at least in terms of the racism aspect, like, I haven't had many black friends in my life, but I like to ask my black friends about that, especially like with all these things with the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff. Like, it's true there are black people who support Trump. The majority don't, but it's like, yeah. Have you talked to any? Do you have many black friends? And if you do,
Yes.
like, have you talked to them about this issue at all?
Yeah, my friend Tadarius, and then Za, and a bunch of his friends. Za is the only one that just like completely just hates Trump. But I mean not Za, Rick, Taquavion, Tadarius, and Devin are Trump supporters. Like real big Trump supporters. They have flags everywhere. And they say that it was just one cop. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
with the George Floyd.
yeah. And then they say that don't you think he would have been paid because the dude was videoing? I don't know where that came from, but like, he just put out like, and he also says that George Floyd did resist, but I just don't really care about it. My my uncle's a cop. I come from I'm blue lives do matter, and I can't say that I get hated on.
Well, I think this is the thing is like talking about that, like I think this is a conversation too that it gets very sensitive, right? Because you have the Black Lives Matter, you have All Lives Matter, you have Blue Lives Matter, and the thing is that people from different sides of the aisle, right? Like Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, they all have different kinds of language to try to say very similar things, which is like the I would say that liberal people would say Black Lives Matter because look, these are people that throughout history have been killed without it ever being really written about in the history books. And now that we have smartphones, we are getting up close and personal with the things that have been happening to black people all through history. So this has always been happening. And so people that are saying Black Lives Matter are saying, look, these people should not be unarmed black men should not be killed for doing similar things that white men could do and not get killed for, right? But then you have the other side that says all lives matter. And what they're saying is like, look, let's try to just not let's just try to stop the hate. Let's try to stop the division. We want to come together, right?
Yeah,
But and so that's kind of their perspective. I tend to disagree with that, but I see where people are coming from with that perspective. And then the Blue Lives Matter, I think, is saying something similar to what you're I think getting at, which is just because there's one hateful cop that is an
to this.
asshole doesn't mean
Yeah,
that every single cop is an asshole,
yeah.
right?
So
Because
like
that's
the ACAB thing, like the ACAB thing, like what is it? All cops are bad, but like that right there, you're just you're labeling a group of people, and you're labeling racists, and you're labeling blacks, and you're labeling whites, and you're just thinking, you just jump to conclusions, and you're just thinking these people are bad. Like,
yeah, I'm with you in the sense that I don't think that if we want to move past all of this, labeling is not the way to get hatred out of our minds and out of our culture. But the thing that we do need to do, I think, is that I think people who I think people have a difficult time trying to get into each other's heads. So like me as a white guy, it's very hard for me to understand what life is like for a black woman because not only am I white, but I don't have a period every month. I don't get catcalled on the street every day when I walk out alone at night. I'm not afraid of people dropping drugs in my drink and date raping me. That's not something that these are not things that I ever need to worry about because I'm a strong white guy. And I think that what Black Lives Matter and these labeling things could help with is try to help us understand how to get into those people's heads that we don't really understand their experience of day to day. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so I think that's important. It's important to try to understand their perspectives, but in the end, we're all human beings and we all need to not. The reason that everything's so fucked up is because people just hate on others that they don't know and they don't
yeah.
understand. And that's what I think that's what people are just trying to figure out, What do you think?
I guess that really just goes back to the bullying stuff because you're picking on people that you don't know anything about, like, and then going back to the Black Lives Matter stuff, like MLK, he did peaceful and didn't destroy anything, and that showed the cops being bad. And then now the cops have to be bad because you're flipping over cars, setting things on fire.
And this is the thing now. I think yeah, and this is something that I'm interested in now too. Is like to what extent and whenever violence is happening, right? Whenever riots are happening, are those who are those people? Are they the actual protesters, or are they people that just want to take advantage of it? It's really complicated. It's really complicated, right?
Seeing like, and then you're going over to stores and you're just raiding them. Like, if you're not gonna stop, and if I was a cop, I'd be like, yo, you're stealing stuff. That's bad. You'll be going to jail if I catch you. And then they pull a gun or they reach for my taser. Like that happened in Atlanta. A dude reached for the cop's laser and then got the laser and ran off with it and pointed it back at him. And then the cop shot him. That right there, that's self defense.
Oh, that's so complicated.
Yeah. Because they could go either way because the black dude didn't shoot the taser, just pointed at him, and the cop actually shot. But
This
I
this
just
is
think,
this. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go for it.
you go.
Well, I think that and this is where it all starts getting really complicated. There's a really good movie called The Hate You Give. Have you seen this movie? I
I have
just
not.
It's really good. I'd recommend you watch it. It's something very similar to kind of like what you're talking about actually. Oh, cool.
Is
Um
it on Netflix?
it is. Yeah, it is on Netflix. Um it there's a I think part of the problem is like, right, one person does something wrong to another person, and then that person thinks, okay, like that, like I can't let things go by without getting my revenge or like getting even. So then and it just perpetuates a hateful cycle. And
Hmm?
so that's where we are right now. We're in like a downward spiral of revenge and hatred, and like I don't know. I think that I'm really interested in trying to bring forgiveness and understanding to
Because we
people,
all
you know? Oh,
the and then like burning the flag and stuff.
hold on. I'm having a little. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Could you say that again?
Like burning the flag and
Mm.
stuff, like that right there, that's just so bad in so many different ways because people are dying for you to keep you safe, and that represents them. So like that ain't right. Um, and
Yeah.
then if you don't like the country, don't make it worse by doing stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like try to make it better.
Mm.
Start being nicer to people. Stop labeling and just jumping to conclusions. That's one of my pet peeves when someone does that to me. I'm just
I mean,
like,
yeah. Well, I think that's like a human. Unfortunately, it's a human thing, and it's like because like people get angry, people get defensive, and I mean I think that's a natural. It's it's not a good natural thing, but it shows like our insecurity, and to be able to not jump to conclusions. The way to not jump to conclusions is to just try to find peace in yourself,
yeah.
right?
That's one thing I'm trying to work on is I do jumping conclusions like with like girls that and that jumping conclusions gets you hurt like that, and that's
Do you have a specific instance in mind that you mean? Like,
I jumped to conclusions a lot when I was dating this one girl, and because I was scared of what will happen again with the girl that I was my first love. That right there, that killed me. And so I started jumping conclusions with this girl, and she got tired of it because she was a really good girl. She would not do anything like that, but I was just scared that I didn't want to lose her. And I lost her so because of jumping to conclusions. So now I'm just like, yep, let's stop doing that.
well, so for you, like thinking back on it now,
Yeah.
what's
Have
that
more
again?
trust.
More trust. How do you think trust can be? How do you think you could have develop more trust with a person? Like that sounds it. I think that sounds right. It also sounds just a little like heady, like theoretical. Like practically, practically, how do you build trust?
Really, I don't even know. I guess it's just like,
Sticking to your word.
yeah. And trust gets you a long way in life, to be honest with you. Having people actually trust you in life will they'll actually like trust you with things. Couldn't think of a word.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. When people trust you, they will. Well, they'll share things with you. You know, it like it just there's just
yeah,
continual growth. There's continual growth. And if like you trust yourself, I mean with wrestling too, you know, like the more you do something, the more you work at it and the more you also let yourself go and do the thing, the more you trust yourself to get shit done when it needs to get done,
yeah.
you know.
See, like I have a regular thing. I'm on a diet, and I have to trust myself not to go over that diet because I know if I go over the diet, I'll try everything in the world to get back down to the way I'm supposed to be at. It'll make me less trustworthy to myself because I let myself down, and now I'm hurting because I'm trying to lose so much weight at one time.
Mm,
So
mm. Well, Maddox, this has been awesome, dude. This has been a great talk. Is there any other kind of like last thing you'd want to talk about before going that we didn't mention?
self love, that right there, because self love will get you a lot of things. Because going through in ninth grade, my grade started slipping to a B, and that right there, if it gets below a 93, I start freaking out. And I had a 94, and I made a bad grade on a test, and it brought my grade down to like a 69, I think it was. I don't even know how it happened. It was a test. It was a zero because I
Oh,
wasn't. Yeah, and it was just like I started doing drugs and stuff like that because I got so depressed because I started getting in fights with my mom downstairs now, and that would just reflect. And I would go to drugs, and I started skipping class, and it got me so much. I started cutting because of it because I started feeling so much pain because I felt like I was letting down everybody, and I just didn't feel anything anymore. So I was like, maybe this will start something new, I guess, and started popping pills, and then my mom now found me in my bathroom floor, just passed out because with a pill bottle like right next to me, and I had to go to the hospital, and then I got put in a mental hospital, and then that right there, just like something just clicked when I was in there. I was like, "Yo, you're being stupid. Now all your grades slipping. Now what you gonna do now? And now that you're at rock bottom, where are you gonna go? You can't go down. You can go up. So like, hey, let's go up." So that's what I did. I got skinnier again. I got strong. I got TikTok clout. My life now is going pretty well. I mean, I smoke marijuana maybe every once in a while. And that right there, I'm trying to slow down because when I'm when I'm high, I'll just start thinking about the stupidest stuff and I'll start overthinking. And then I get hurt because of it and I get back in the state. So, yeah, that's about it.
wow. dude, you're like, you know what? Like, I'm an actor. That's my job, right? And we talk about how vulnerability. A lot of people view vulnerability as weakness, right? But it is the direct opposite, you know.
Yeah.
And by you talking about these things out loud and not brushing them under the rug, like that takes strength. Like you like literally by talking about it are confronting yourself and your fears and your issues head on just through conversation, just like you do in wrestling, and that I think it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool that I can actually just not overthink and actually just stay in the moment, not worry about what's going to happen in the future, but just try to make your future better. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and in terms of like weed and everything, like it's a helpful it can be a helpful tool, right? But it could also easily turn into
Something bad.
a weapon, right?
Yeah.
A weapon against self-love, so and I'm sure that this is stuff that you've thought about and confronted with going to the hospital. um but for other people, out there listening and thinking about this too, it's something to consider. Like these substances, I would say, like at least marijuana specifically, is not inherently evil.
Yeah.
It's not. It can be used as a tool or as a weapon, just like alcohol, and just like any kind of medicine, really.
Yeah. I haven't taken a pill. The only pill I take now is my two anxiety pills and my ADHD pill. And that's the only thing that I take. And I never touch bottles of liquor. The only thing I just smoke. I I have a nicotine problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about quitting, but I was like, yo, I mean, you're already working hard, and if you work harder, trying to get your lungs ready, your lungs get, I guess, more active and more stronger. That's what I think, but like, it might not be
Yeah,
scientifically proven.
yeah, careful. Yeah, that's a that's like leaning into a little self justification.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting how we can kind of slip into that. Yeah, just like it's just yeah, think about, and actually, if you talk to someone that really loves you, unconditionally, right? It may be someone, maybe probably your age, could be helpful. Or I don't know what your parents talk to you about with drugs, if they're cool with like smoking weed or the vape.
They just, I mean, they're like, they're not okay with it. They don't want to be seen with me like that. Like they don't want to see me with it. But they're just like, just don't do it around me.
Yeah, I think, like, going to someone who maybe your sister, right, who loves you, and asking them, do you think that what I'm doing is helping me? Do you think it's helping me to improve, to love myself more? That could be a helpful thing to do, just to see if you're kind of questioning it.
I mean, like, yeah, I question it all the time. Like, do I really? I don't need to be doing this anymore. And I quit for like 3 months. Was sober, didn't touch any type of nicotine, didn't touch anything. And then I was just like, I never had edibles. This is when I really first started smoking. I started doing edibles that first time I ever did it. I didn't know what it was.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
My buddy said, dude, it's brownies. And I could tell he was just like,
He was lying.
yeah. And that right there, that straight hit me. And I was like, this. And so now I'm here again.
Oh man,
But
this was
I'm not hurting or anything.
oh
I'm like my self love right now. I'm just like, yeah, buddy.
dude, this was great. This was such a an awesome surprise. You know, you never know whenever someone pops up on Omegle. You have no idea what someone's story is. You know, and
It
yeah,
was really nice talking to you. To be honest with you, this is fun.
awesome, man. Very cool. Well, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Um,
You know what? I'll do that right
and also too, I'm trying to keep in touch with people too that I do interviews with. If you could possibly send me an email too to the one that I just put right here. It's called Building Bridges 505.
now. All right.
That way, like, I may try to get a bunch of people that I've had interviews with together to do like competitions or games or some fun stuff where you guys could meet each other. That could be really fun.
Have you met anybody with sports yet?
I'm no one that is like Division 1. No. God, I mean, I've done like 70 interviews, so I'm really I forget.
How many videos do you have?
I think I have like 80 videos.
That's good.
Yeah.
Half one of them have to get somewhere. Out of eight,
Well, well,
you can get a couple maybe.
that's the thing is, I'm just trying to
I'll be
I'm
praying
trying.
for that.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to do like one every day. Just try to do a little bit every day, and if I do it for long enough, then hopefully some things will come from it. Like we were talking about, like trust just continues to grow if it comes from you know
That's how I am with TikTok. I'll maybe post two a day, and then that'll be my done. I'll be done after 2 days. I mean, that day I'll be done with two, and then the next day I'll do like one or two, and I might do a couple, and I'll put them in my drafts, and I so I don't have to do it during the day. I'll just be like, yo, here, have this, and swear now I'm here. I get paid from TikTok.
Do you really? Oh my god, it's
Uh,
amazing, dude.
I have two sponsors. I don't even know the name of them, to be honest with you. It's some glasses company, and then what was the other one?
Maddox, you're like.
I don't even know what it was. But once you get big on something, that it just sits in your head, like, yo, you really can go somewhere.
Dude,
Don't
would you mind putting down your TikTok channel? I would love to. I don't have a TikTok, but maybe if I get one, I'll follow you. Cool, cool. Yeah, man. If you could shout out this channel, I that would be so nice. That'd be so nice of
I'll
you.
definitely do it. I'll actually do it tomorrow because I have school in the morning.
Oh my
So,
god. Okay, well you gotta. Well, dude. Okay, well I'll let you go. But it
all
was
right,
really awesome talking, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
all right. You have a great night, man.
All right. See you later, Maddox. Bye.
Yeah, man.
Cool, dude. What a cool guy.